Did you sign up for Sundance? Did you decide if you're
I want to. I actually was just thinking about that today. I really do want to.
Yeah.
Because I think it'd be fun. I'm just so curious to see how different it's gonna be.
Yeah, I am too.
Right.
I mean, if I can't go, it's fine. I'll just try again next year. You know, it's always there.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of what I'm thinking too.
Yeah, and I think it's. I like it because we get to meet people like you. You know, I've made friends there. That's why I like it, and we all talk about the same things when we're there too.
Yeah,
You're like
exactly.
waiting in line. You end up talking about a movie or something. You talk about the plot and all these things, the characters, and you stand. One day the person was here. We were talking about somebody having a baby together. I think it was Elon Musk. Baby's gonna go to space someday. And they had this whole sitcom about Elon Musk and on Mars with his baby.
Oh my
Just
God.
waiting to get into a movie. You know, I was like, we're not gonna experience that except for there. Because I've been to other film festivals, and that one's just kind of unique.
I think so too. Yeah, I
Where
totally
did
agree.
you work when you were there last time?
Where did I work?
Yeah, was it the Big Egyptian?
No, I worked at the Holiday
Holiday.
Theater, which was unique because that's the press theater.
Yeah.
You have all the press people that go in and watch, and then occasionally we got some of the actors that went in there because they didn't want to deal with big crowds.
Yeah.
So like Alec Baldwin was there when I went. Ethan Hawke walked in a few times, which was cool to see. It was very unexpected.
Yeah.
But it was a blast. I think that the team that I had was just so fun, and I met some people that I'm still in contact with, you know, so.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
It's so much fun with people.
Yeah.
I worked at a theater like that too. It was only the press. And then, you know, remember Sharuda? I think Sharuda on Instagram, she says she's made a movie. Did you see that? Her movie.
Oh.
Yeah, she just finished a movie or something.
Shreya?
Shreya.
Shreya? Yeah,
Yeah,
she
Shreya.
did. Yeah, I think it's called Aisha is the name of her.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it yet. I meant to reach out to her to see what that's about, but yeah, there's a plug for that, Aisha. I don't know where you can watch it. I'll have to ask her, but it was cool because she actually asked me if I knew any sound people in LA, which I think is where she shot it. Yeah. And I recommended another Sundance person, so they ended up making the movie together. So
that's awesome. That's what I'm saying for Sundance. It's great.
Exactly. I know.
I wish I would have known when I was younger about Sundance.
I know. I feel the same way. I wish I had known it was an option for people to apply to be a volunteer there, because it is just so fun. You meet so many cool people, and you get to watch like a ton of movies, which is like, who doesn't want
to do that, right? And it's just the people you meet too. It's just so great. The other thing about Sundance is that, you know, when you all of the questions and the questions and answers that the producers come and talk about and stuff, that's the best.
Oh my God, that was my favorite part, going to the panel discussions.
Yeah,
that was
my favorite. Panel discussion.
Q&A, yeah. That was my favorite part, honestly. I found myself getting, I get like, I'm also very sensitive, but I get really emotional when I like watch things or hear people talk about what they do.
Oh, me too.
Yeah,
it's
so fun. But there was I think it was the first movie that I saw at Sundance in 2020, and it was Crip Camp, the documentary, which is on Netflix now, but great documentary. That was one of my favorites that year.
I'm just going to talk about that. I went to that panel discussion because I didn't have to work, because I worked the night shift. So I could go to a bunch of these things I couldn't go to the year before. And they were up there, the whole, you know, the two directors, the brothers, the main star, the editor.
Some of the other,
It was so good.
Well, I heard them talking about this, making the film, and I just started tearing up. And I was like, it's just such a cool thing to see all of these different people come together to work on one piece of work.
Yeah.
And then they put all of this, it's just such a labor of love, and then they finally get to like release it into the world.
Yeah.
And be like, I contributed to that. So I just think it's such a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I think that's why I like documentaries, and I watch a lot of them before and even more now because of that reason, because it's so personal. You know, I mean, I love movies and the fantasy of it all, but documentaries really hit you in the heart, you know?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love documentary filmmaking, and
I've
made
yeah,
I made a short documentary last summer for a friend of mine who's was a graffiti artist and is now a studio painter. But we made this short, like 15-minute doc for him to release in hopes of raising money to get off of parole. His story is really interesting. But
where do you have it? Is it on YouTube?
It's not on YouTube. I have it on my Vimeo, and it's also on his website, which is just www.iandebeer.com. Ian DeBeer is his name. But we made this doc and we released it, and he sold some prints alongside, promoted some prints that he made, which were really, really cool. Actually, that's one of them right there. This blue one.
Wow.
Behind me. But he was able to raise enough money to get off of parole in May of this year. And he was on parole for, I think, 10 years. So,
wow.
Yeah, it was just cool to see something. Like, that was the first tangible result I've had from, like, creating something. So, that was cool. So, I do love documentary filmmaking because you're affecting real people's lives and telling a real story, and it's just such a cool, unique experience. And I just like learning about people. I like talking to people.
Are you distributing your documentary, or?
No, we never really thought it was. I mean, I made it with the intention of just helping him raise money. I never thought like, oh, this can be shown other places.
Yeah.
We partnered up with House of Vans, like the shoe company. So they were like loosely helping us at least fund the project.
Wow.
But they recently asked to screen it at a London Film Fest that they're doing.
There you go.
So that's something. I mean, anyone who wants to see it, I'm always like, yes, go watch it, learn about his story, buy his art, because it supports a friend of mine. So yeah, but I would love to make something and actually go through the distribution process. I'm a little intimidated by that, but I would love to do it eventually.
Yeah, that's why I went to Sundance, just to see how it all works, you know?
Yeah, it's interesting.
There's so many layers.
There's so many layers.
Yeah.
I know.
I'm like, wow, what is a boomer? What do you do if you're called a boomer? You know, all these jobs. I had no idea.
There's so many.
Oh my gosh, it's like
there's so many.
So we could do a bunch of things here. I get it. But have you seen the movie that just won the Oscar? I can't think of it right now.
Why can't I think of it either?
Yeah, what's that movie where they're Nomadland?
Oh yes, I did see that.
When I watched Nomadland, I thought of a documentary. You know,
yeah,
it was the way she filmed it. The director won all the awards. I can't remember her name either. Woo! But when I watched it, I said, this is like a documentary, and it was so Sundancey that I thought, wow, it's actually a movie. It's gonna have to win the Oscar. There's just no doubt it's gonna win the Oscar because it just was so heart-wrenching, you know, touched your heart like a documentary would. Yeah,
and it's kind of filmed in that style too, where I think a lot of the actors that they used were just quote unquote real life people that weren't like trained actors, which I thought was cool. I always love that style.
Me too.
But
But I
Yeah, it was filmed in a way that was like very like, oh, you're following around a real person.
yeah, she's an actress. It was just so great, and I think almost everyone in it were not actors except for the two main characters, the woman and the man, and everyone else I think were real nomads. And I just thought that was so appropriate for the timing too with COVID. How people are losing
I agree.
jobs,
right?
But all you hear about on the news is how people the rich are just getting richer too, but then the other people are just getting poorer.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was just the perfect movie for the time because people don't really understand that America is so big,
America is so big.
Yeah, so much land, and it was such a great movie. I had to watch it 3 times.
I do want to watch it again, actually, now that you bring it up. I'm glad you brought it up because first time I watched it, actually, or the only time I watched it, but when I first put it on, I had to take a break in the middle because it was like such a, I don't know, I was so in it, and it is very like, it's intense,
Well, if you're like me, you're probably studying the photography and camera work, right?
Oh, yeah.
I'm studying like the character and the lines and just how they hardly have to say a lot, but there's so much emotion in it. So that's what I'm studying is like how do you write this screenplay? Because
I think they had to rely a lot on the actors themselves to kind of bring their own interpretation to the table.
Yes.
Because if I'm not mistaken, I think a lot of the lines were also ad-libbed, like on the spot.
Yes.
So, I mean, that is like incredible to me.
Yeah. And I think that's why I thought it was like a documentary style because it was so ad-lib and personal, but yet she combined acting into it.
Right.
It's just was revolutionary. I was just like, God, I love this movie.
Yeah. Great movie. Nomadland. Whoever hasn't seen it should watch it because it's beautiful.
So I know the last time we really had any contact was when I had asked you if you would film or help me with my documentary I was going to try to make about team building and at Loyola University, and then all shut down because of COVID.
Yeah, I know.
And then this year they never reopened because the mask mandate, right?
Yeah.
And everything we do as facilitators is we touch each other and we do trust falls, or we breathe and hug, and it's like, oh, we can't go to work again. So that's where we're at.
Sad.
Yeah, it is sad. And none of them could work this year. Nobody could work. No facility.
Yeah, that's horrible. I mean, everything kind of got flipped on its head.
Yeah, so that's why I started the podcast. I thought, I still want to talk to people.
This is a great way to do it.
Yeah,
this is a wonderful way.
And like where you and I might not see each other again until Sundance, and we might not even be able to talk there because we're so busy, and our schedules might not be the same. Here we get to talk a little bit longer.
Yeah, it's great.
And so I've been studying astrology, and so that's why I asked when you were born. You're a Capricorn.
I am a Capricorn to a T.
And it's so funny because in my house, it's a Leo, Virgo, Capricorn, and Gemini. It's the prominent thing here. And so I read Capricorn's horoscope every day for my son, and I think it's right. I'll send him the link. You better read this today, Capricorn, So it's not
anything good for today?
Today's really good because it's a good work day because the sun and Pluto are meeting up. And whenever that happens, it means your personal horoscope for the day is going to be affected because the sun affects everyone. Just the moon affects everyone. So today it's a good day for you to really start something that's going to last a long time.
I like it.
And also, as a Capricorn,